A machine that weighed just 12 kilograms decided the fate of millions of lives. A machine that printed a different letter every single time you pressed the same key. For years, it was considered the most secure device on Earth. Hitler's army trusted it with their most dangerous secrets. But one man, armed with nothing but paper, a pencil, and his mind, broke this unbreakable machine. And because of that, many historians believe World War II ended 2 years earlier than it should have. Its name was Enigma. In today's video, we're going to break down exactly how this machine worked, how it was cracked, and why it's still the greatest lesson in the world of cryptography. First, let's understand what Enigma actually was. Enigma was a cipher machine, a device that scrambled your message into a jumbled mess of letters, so that anyone who intercepted it couldn't read a word. It was built in 1918 by a German engineer named Arthur Scherbius. But originally, it wasn't even for the military. It was designed for businesses to keep their commercial secrets safe. But in the 1930s, when Nazi Germany took control, the military adopted the machine for themselves and added their own modifications, making it even harder to crack. By the time World War II broke out, the German Army, Navy, and Air Force were all relying on Enigma to send their most classified messages. Now, here's the most interesting part. How did Enigma actually work? On the outside, it looked just like a typewriter, a keyboard, a few switches, and a light board. But the real magic was hidden inside. 3 rotating wheels, called rotors. When the operator pressed a letter, say the letter A, an electric current would travel through the first rotor, then the second, then the third, and back again. Each rotor would scramble the letter into something completely different. But here's the real twist. Every single time you pressed a letter, the first rotor would rotate one position. That means, if you typed A, you get a different output letter every time. The first A might become T, the second might become M, the third might become X. The machine also had a plug board, where operators could plug in cables to swap letters with each other, adding even more layers of complexity. So, how many possible combinations were there? According to mathematicians, Enigma had over 150 quintillion possible settings. That number is so massive that even if you tried one combination every single second, it would take longer than the age of the universe to try them all. This is exactly why the Germans believed this machine was completely unbreakable. But here's where the first twist in this story comes in. Most people think Enigma was only cracked by the British. But the truth is, this mission actually began in Poland. In 1932, a Polish mathematician named Marian Rejewski managed to figure out the internal wiring of Enigma's rotors. He was helped by stolen German manuals, which French intelligence had passed along to the Poles. Rejewski and his team built a machine called the Bombe, which used brute force methods to guess Enigma's settings. But in 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, Polish cryptographers handed over all of their research to British intelligence to make sure their years of work wouldn't go to waste. That single decision, made at exactly the right moment, would go on to save millions of lives in the years that followed. From here, the story moves to England, to a place called Bletchley Park. It was an old countryside mansion, where Britain secretly gathered its best mathematicians, linguists, and puzzle solvers. Their mission: crack Enigma every single day, because the Germans changed their settings daily. Among them was a 27-year-old mathematician, Alan Turing. Turing realized the Polish Bombe machine wouldn't work anymore, because the Germans had upgraded their system. So, he came up with a completely new approach. The Polish machine relied on brute force, but Turing found a smarter method. He used cribs, guessed words or phrases that kept appearing again and again in German messages. Turing designed a brand new machine called the Bombe, which, with improvements from Gordon-Welchman, is known today as the Turing-Welchman Bombe. This machine ran day and night, rapidly testing possible rotor settings, until it landed on one that actually made sense. By the end of the war, over 200 bomb machines had been built, decoding German Enigma messages around the clock. Now, the real question: what did all of this actually accomplish? Once Bletchley Park cracked Enigma, the Allied forces started knowing German military plans in advance, especially those of the German Navy, which was hunting Allied ships across the Atlantic Ocean. Historians believe This intelligence helped the Allies avoid countless attacks before they even happened, and gave them a decisive edge in some of the war's most critical battles. Some experts even say that breaking Enigma caused World War II to end 2 years earlier, saving an estimated 14 million lives. Just think about that, all because of understanding one single machine. But here's the most heartbreaking part of this story. It stayed classified for decades. The people at Bletchley Park weren't even allowed to tell their own families what they had done. Alan Turing never received the recognition he deserved in his own lifetime. The story of Enigma isn't just history. It's one of the biggest lessons for our world today. Lesson 1. No cipher is ever truly 100% unbreakable. It just takes enough time and the right kind of thinking. Lesson 2. Small human mistakes can bring down massive systems. German operators sometimes fell into predictable patterns, like sending the same greeting message every single day, and that predictability became Bletchley Park's way in. And Lesson 3, the most important one, Alan Turing's work here laid the foundation for modern computer science. The exact same kind of thinking he used to break Enigma later helped build the world's very first computers, which means the device in your hand right now, the one you're using to watch this video, its roots trace all the way back to a 12-kilogram machine that was once thought to be completely unbreakable. The story of the Enigma machine teaches us that the biggest victories in the world aren't always won with noise. Sometimes they're won quietly, with just paper and a sharp mind. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, which secret piece of history should I cover next? See you in the next video with another story that changed the world.